Hello and welcome back to another video. In this one, we're going to be covering Go's time package and all of the useful functions that we can utilize in our programs to better work with time and durations. The first thing we're going to do with the time package is just get the current time. So let's write a comment, get current time. And below this, we'll assign the current time to a variable, and we'll actually call it program start because we'll do something with that later. So program start will be initialized to time.now. And then if we want to go ahead and print that out, we just do a format printf, and I'll say program started, and we'll print out that value. Save, and I'll go ahead and do the auto import for the time. And if we go run this, we'll see that we got the program started on 2026 of February 2nd at, and given in UTC time, 17:31:22, and then you get all the milliseconds and everything after that. Then you get the time zone and some additional information way after the fact. So it definitely gives you more than enough information to work with when it comes to dates and times. But what if I wanted to get a specific date that I have in mind, maybe a more human readable date, but we need it to be put into a Go time. So let's get a future date. So get future date. And it's one that we're going to already know. So we'll go with just Valentine's Day of this year. So Valentine's Day will be initialized to time.date. And this is quite a big function in terms of how many arguments that we can pass into it. But it's pretty simple. If we just hover over it, it goes year, month, day, and then you pass in the time too if you need to. So hour, minute, second, nanoseconds, location, and it returns back to you a time object. So we're going to go ahead and do Valentine's Day of this year. So 2/2, and then I don't care about the hour, minute, seconds, or anything like that. And the last argument that we can pass in here is the location. Now, it doesn't mean an actual physical location, but more so your time zone. And Go provides valuable constants to determine what location we want to use. So you just use the time package, and you can call UTC or local for their constants, or you can use the fixed zone to get a particular time zone, but I'm just going to go with UTC. And just like that, our Valentine's Day date or time has been created. So let's go ahead and print that out to the screen too. So printf Valentine's 2026 %v on a new line, passing in Valentine's Day. So now if we run this program, we get when it started, but then also when Valentine's Day is. So when you pass in that UTC value, we obviously have all these values that got inserted into the date, which were zeros. And so we can just get 2026, 2, and 2, and that's all we really care about. Now, this is quite a lot of information. Typically, we don't need the time in some programs, or maybe you want the time only, or you definitely don't care about the timestamp. Well, we can format our dates. So I'll do Valentine's Day formatted, quite a long variable name, but at least it communicates what it's going to do. And here we can just go ahead and call the variable that we have directly, so Valentine's Day, and do format. Now it takes in a layout string and returns to us another string. Now you may be wondering, okay, what is this layout string that I can provide? And really, it's where we provide a time constant. So I can say date only, or date time, Ruby date, not sure what that is, or a Unix date. But let's just say I only care about the month, day, and year of Valentine's Day this year. So you could pass in the constant of date only, and let's print this out to the screen also. So printf Valentine's 2026 date only, and then we get the formatted version of it. So let's clear the console, run this one more time, and we get Valentine's 2026 date only, and then it gives us that year, month, and day format. Now, building off of the string that we just built, we can do the reverse and parse strings into a Go date. So now let's start working with Christmas. So I will have Christmas error will be assigned to time.parse, and there's two arguments that we can provide to this. The layout string, which we just used in the previous example, and a value string. So I'm going to pass in the layout string of the same thing that we did, so time.date only. And in this, we need to pass it in the form of year, month, and day. So it'll be 2026-12-25, and we should be good to go there. And so we need to check if there's going to be an error. So if error is not nil, then we can go ahead and just panic, say error parsing Christmas, which that sounds like a big issue. And if not, then we'll go ahead and print out Christmas. So format printf Christmas %v and pass in Christmas at the end. Let's save this. And now we get Christmas and we get that longer form version of the date. The time package also provides to us some other useful functions such as like equal, before, and after. So here we can check if Christmas, well, let's actually say is Christmas before Valentine's, which we all know that Christmas does not come before Valentine's Day, at least in a single calendar year. So then we can say Christmas dot before, and then we just pass in another time that we've already had, so Valentine's Day. And then let's print that out just to make sure that we are sane. So printf is Christmas before Valentine's, question mark. And then %v with the backslash in and pass in is Christmas before Valentine's. Save, run one more time. And we get it is false. Christmas is not. And then we can also change this to after, but that would invalidate the variable name at that point. But you get the point. We can check before or after, or if a date is another date. And now let's briefly move on to durations. I'm going to create a New Year's Eve variable. So NYE, I'm going to ignore the error when I parse this. I'll do time.parse using time.date only, passing in 2026-12-31. So that's the last day in the year, but what if we want the new year? So I will pass in new year as a variable, and that's going to be equal to or assigned to nye.add. And so this, as you can see, takes in a duration. And durations are very simple to work with. They give us good constants to signify how much time we are adding or subtracting to different dates. And so if we want to get the day after New Year's, all we have to say is 24 times time.hour. Then we can go ahead and print this out. So format printf new year %v and pass in new year. Let's clear out our terminal, run this, and we get new year is 2027, January 1st, and at exactly midnight. The time package also provides plenty of other constants, so we could do time.second, time.nanoseconds. For our purpose, we'll just stick with the hour. And for our second to last example, we're going to demonstrate a timer. So let's lower that terminal. And timers allow us to perform an action after a certain amount of time. So I will create a new timer here. So timer equals time.new timer. And I want this timer to go off after 1 second. So I'll do 1 times time.second. And I'll go ahead and print out saying when I'm about to do something with this timer so that we get an understanding of the time. So format.print line, and we'll do saying hello in 3 seconds, or sorry, not 3 seconds, in 1 second. Now, when we make a new timer, we get a channel with it, and that is where we get an updated value on the channel such that we know when the time has passed. So if we want to wait to do something, then we just try to read from the channel until it's filled. So you just pass in timer.c because c is its channel. And so this will block for 1 full second. Then we can go ahead and say hello. So format.print line hello. So let's go back to our terminal, clear it, and do go run period. And now we get saying hello for 1 second, and then obviously, while I was saying that, then it printed out hello. In contrast to the timer, there is also a ticker, which just repeatedly does something every specified amount of time that you provide, but we won't cover that here. And I'm going to cover one last thing, and that is getting the time since something else has began or given another date. So if you remember at the very beginning of the program, we went ahead and had a program.start time. So now we're going to print out how long it takes to run this entire program. So I will do a format.printf. I'll say time since program started. Do a %v \n, and then we pass in time.since, which gives us back a duration, and we pass in the program start. So when we clear the terminal and then rerun the program, we have to waiting for 1 second, and then we get the total time taken, which is 1.00144 so on seconds. And that's it for the video. This was meant to be super quick and informative of just the time package and all the things that we can do with it. There's plenty of other functions that we can use, but I'll go ahead and just link the documentation in the description below. If you stuck around to the end of this video, I hope you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.